Good morning. Welcome to Gimpy's History Corner. I'm called Gimpy by my family. My two sons and their partners, and his wife Sarah, Scott's wife Casey. Two great sons and two great partners. They treat me very well. I'm very appreciative. All they've done for me. Okay, we're on video number 131, Capitalism and the Fine Arts. We went from sports to the fine arts. Early roots, art before capitalism, the 19th century, patrons like monarchs, the church, and wealthy merchants commissioned artwork to display power and prestige. Guilds and workshops developed. Artists often worked collectively, much like artisans, like masons, laid the groundwork for art as a profession. But art started as a special thing that wealthy people like church leaders and kings and queens commissioned artists to do. So that's why you have the Vatican having Michelangelo's walls and ceilings full of art. 17th and 18th century, the rise of the art market. Dutch Golden Age saw the emergence of a middle-class art market. Art produced for sale for the first time. It was not commissioned. So these were the first entrepreneur artists. The auction houses like Sotheby's and Christie's formalized art sales, turning art into tradable commodities. The 19th century, commodification accelerates, industrial capitalism. As wealth concentrated, collectors and dealers became central. There's a mansion on I think it's Fifth Avenue. No, it's right along the Central Park in New York City. It was built by the industrialist last name of Frick Mansion, and he has a Frick collection. He collected art, and it's still in his mansion. He's been long dead, of course, but his family has preserved it. And you can go through and see the Frick collection. Art as a status, ownership became a marker of sophistication and class. I'm not sure if the wealthy people even knew what was good art and what was bad art. But the experts would say, hey, that's good art, you should buy that. And they would, and say, hey, look at me, I'm an art expert. 20th century, art as investment, modernism and avant-garde, abstract expressionism, which eventually absorbed into the capitalism, fetching higher prices, like Andy Warhol and his soup cans. Reproduction technologies, photography and prints expanded access. Corporate collections, business bought art to project cultural capital. And it was during this time that our good old buddies, the CIA, got involved with the art world. They decided American artists need to be front and center on the world art stage. So they supported guys like Pollock and other American artists of the 20th century. Not that the CIA knew anything about art, but they wanted the Americans to be near the top of the list of great artists. So they supported them with money. Contemporary era art as capital, global auctions, art as a speculative asset class. I just saw a replay of a Sotheby's art auction of a Klimt painting. Sold for $205 million. It was fun to watch the bidding go back and forth. And of course, the bidders weren't the actual people buying them. They were their representatives. They were on cell phones. And they would talk to them, and then they'd say, 180 million. Then the next one would get on their phone. They would say 185. They made it all the way up to $205 million for a Klimt painting. Okay, Sotheby's and Christie's are the big art auctions. They're fun to watch on YouTube. The ultra-wealthy influence, high prices, conflated with quality. It's a cultural sophistication. Obviously, the upper crust of fine art is a wealthy class thing. Guys like me, I showed you what I have in my house. Those are obviously just reproductions. I didn't pay millions of dollars for those. So I don't know how that works. There's probably a length of time where they can start reproducing Van Goghs and Rembrandts and things. What are the biggest art museums in the world by visitors? The Louvre in Paris is number one. It was just robbed. If you saw that in the news. Some guys stole a construction ladder, put it up to a window, went in and stole a bunch of jewelry. The Vatican is number two. My sons, I think both my sons have been to Italy recently and went to the Vatican and saw the great art inside the Vatican. British Museum in London is third. Fourth is the Metropolitan. In New York City, we were there just a few weeks ago on our family trip. Then you have MoMA. Maybe we were at MoMA. We weren't at the Met this past time. We went to MoMA. I'm sorry. Museum of Modern Art. And the Tate Modern in London's number 5. So Paris, Rome, London, New York City are the biggest art cities in the world. The largest amount paid for art, Salvador Mundi by Da Vinci, Interchange by de Koonis, a big long name portrait by Klimt, and the one with the largest insurance on it is the Mona Lisa by Da Vinci in the Louvre, which really wasn't that popular for hundreds and hundreds of years. And then it was stolen by a guy that worked at the Louvre. That was a big news story. Was that after World War II? I can't remember. Kind of made it more famous. Forgery is a big thing in the fine art world. How do you know you're getting one that's an actual Van Gogh or Matisse? The famous forgers are the guys that forge Vermeers from the Dutch art world. In the 1950s, there were guys that were forging Picassos and Matisses. And currently there's controversies over some of the Van Goghs, whether they're real or forgeries. And the thing is, 2 ways to forge. You can forge the actual picture, like Van Gogh's Sunflowers. Forge exactly what he painted, make it look exactly like what he did and sell it. Or you could do something similar using his style, but instead of sunflowers, paint roses or something, and claim it was a missing Van Gogh, just found. So that you just never know. I don't know how maybe there's scientific ways you can test the paint or something, I don't know. The forgery is a huge issue in the fine art world. And during World War II, the Nazis, our favorite Nazis, were famous for stealing art all over Europe. And there's a movie made about it called The Monument Men, who were American art experts in the U.S. Army who went around at the end of the war trying to find where the Nazis had hidden all their art. Found them in mines, and people's houses. Those Nazis, Betty, they were nasty. That's my family history. Germans. Okay. I already told you about the Klimt auction I watched recently. I love the old art, but I'm obviously not going to buy expensive art. There are art things here locally, several art shows every year where local artists sell their stuff. My son plays music there, and I go there and I walk around and look at the art. And it's very good. You know, I'm just not going to pay $400 or $500 for something to hang on my wall. But there are wealthy people who do, and that's who support the art business are wealthy people. It's not a blue collar thing. But there are blue collar people who become artists. That's for sure. There's a guy here. It's got a frame studio. He makes picture frames, but also sells his paintings. And my son played at an art gallery next door, the town next door last week. Took the grandkids over, and the art they had in there was, I guess you'd call it ceramics, pottery, and art that was made out of baked clay. Very nice. And the other studio had veterans art, drawings, paintings of airplanes and military things. So there's all kinds of ways to do art. Sculpture, metal. In my hometown, there's flood wall murals. Beautiful. Historical murals of things that have happened in that city over the years along the river. Very famous. And there's just all kinds of things. I think fine art is wonderful. My youngest son, we thought he was going to be an artist growing up because he liked to draw Disney characters. But he went on into writing. His thing became writing as an adult instead of drawing. Okay, that's it. I'm not sure what is going to happen. I'm kind of running out of ideas on the videos. I might take a break. We'll see. Thanks for watching. My Buckeyes play Rutgers today. We're getting closer and closer to the big game against Michigan. We haven't beat Michigan lately. Makes me nervous. Thanks. Have a great day.